Press conference for Bellator London, Saturday night, June 22nd at Wembley Arena. We're all very excited about it. But before we go any further, I just want to hand over to the president of Bellator, Mr. Scott Coker.
Thank you, David. Excited to be here. Our team was in New York City last week. We had a great event. It's so amazing to be in the Garden promoting fights. It's something that I've always dreamed of, and it's our second time, and we'll be there many more times to come. We had some great fights. Chael Machida. It was a great fight for Machida, but to see Chael retire, it was something that was very touching, and I was proud to be his promoter for the last 3 years. He's a great ambassador for the sport. He'll continue to be our on-air commentary, which I believe he's here in London, and he'll be working on Saturday night. And we'll continue to have him out there and be part of the Bellator family. This past year, starting in January, we had the crowning of our heavyweight champion and the tournament winner, which was Ryan Bader. He also was our 205-pound champion. The fight at Madison Square Garden between Neiman Gracie, Roy McDonald. Roy won the fight. He'll continue on and fight for the championship between he and Douglas Lima, and that will be for the $1 million prize money that 50 Cent is putting up for his champagne brand. And we're very thankful for that, and I'm sure the fighters are as well. And that will be sometime in the fall. And we're shooting for still a September date, contrary to what you guys have been reading and hearing. We're still shooting for that date. We have a couple of venues on hold. So it's been a big year for us. So far we've had many fights, and this is a company, when I first started, was doing 12 events, 13 events a year. This year we'll be doing 30 fights all over the world. Again, this is a company owned by Viacom Television, or Viacom Media Networks, which has networks and offices all over the world, so it makes it very simple in the sense that we get a lot of support whenever we go to different territories. We're looking forward to expanding in 2020. This year, with the success of the Bellator European Series, including Newcastle, Dublin, Birmingham, and here in London this Saturday, it just proves to me that the model of having localized events featuring local talent and sprinkling them with some of our top talent from around the world, but looking for the next star, looking for the next, big opportunity for some of the young fighters here in their countries, I think that works. And we're looking at expanding this localization into South America, Central America, Latin America, and Asia. We're talking about Australia, New Zealand eventually, but this is really the first opportunity, the first test we did, and we're very happy with the success this led, and we couldn't have done it without David and his team, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Scott. And as Scott said, we're really looking forward to this, which is the third installment of the European Series for Bellator over here on this side of the pond. And of course, to go with all the success of Bellator and the growth in the US, it's been really good to bring in the European Series of 2019 over here. We've had two great events already. Start of the year, Newcastle, packed house, lots of energy. We saw local boy and prospect Ryan Scope lose a really close split decision fight against Patricky Pitbull, and that sort of sums up the Bellator Europe Series for me. Great prospects, great talent, local boys getting to fight some huge names from around the world that we've got with Bellator. We can bring them over here. Moved on to Birmingham, crazy fights, loads of finishes in the televised bouts, to follow some great prelims fights earlier on, and then of course the Raymond Daniels knockout. I think last time I looked, it's doing about 25 million views, went viral globally around the world, so a great night. And then we're coming up now to Wembley, the third event, and obviously the biggest one so far, and it's likely to be the best MMA card you're likely to see on these shores for a long time. And we're going to get a chance to see the fighters later on and talk to them. But I just want to recap on what will be a great night of fighting and talk about the the fantastic viewing opportunities we've got on the night. I mean, I think it's a first for us. I mean, we've had a lot of success this year with our two broadcast partners in the UK, Sky Sports and Channel 5. And on Saturday night, you're going to get to see both of those in action. At 9 o'clock, we've got Sky Sports live with James Gallagher versus Jeremy Laviano. And of course, headlining that is Paul Daly versus Eric Silva, which should be fantastic fight up on live on Sky Sports at 9 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, we cross over to Channel 5 for our European series, and then you'll get to see Aaron Chalmers fighting there, and we've got Melvin Manoff and Ken Kampanen, and then topped off with a world title fight, which we're really pleased for the first time to have on the European series, with Rafael Lovato Jr. against a current champ, Gegard Mousasi. So that's going to be a huge, huge night. Absolutely amazing card on Saturday. Still some Dublin fighter or Irish fighter on the books with Bellator. We're going to be going back to the 3 Arena on Friday the 27th. So that should be a fantastic night. So expect lots of details coming up in the coming week on Bellator.com. Tickets will be on general sale next Friday at Ticketmaster.com. So check that out for some more fights, and we're also pleased to introduce our new broadcast partner in Ireland, which you've heard about this week, which will be Virgin Media, which will be showing the fight live, free to air in Dublin on that night. So everybody, onto the card. So we're going to bring up our Paramount Sky fighters up to the table so we can all talk to them. And I'd like to introduce everybody to Mr. Fabian Edwards, Jeremiah Laviano, James Gallagher, Eric Silva, and Paul Daly. So I'll just start off with a few questions. First of all, to Fabian, I think. Fabian, I mean, really quick turnaround for you. Great win in your hometown last time out. How are you feeling so close to the last fight?
I feel good, you know. I fought about 6 weeks ago, so I just went straight back into camp. Feel sharp, feel fit. I'm ready to go out there and get an apple finish.
And your opposition there, he's on a 5-win streak, 5-0. Someone's got to go, as they say. How's it going to go down?
I can see it being a first round finish. I'm going out there to put the pace on him. You know, I've seen his style before. He hasn't seen my style. I'm looking to go out there, put a pace on him, and put on weight early.
And we've got so much pressure, I think, on you because so many people are excited to see you in this country. And you are named constantly as the biggest prospect in this country. Does that weigh heavy on you on this fight?
No, there's no pressure. There's no pressure. I think pressure is if you put the pressure on yourself, you can feel it. I've been 10-0 amateur, now 7-0 pro. It's still all normal to me. You know, I'm going out there performing each time, no pressure at all.
Very well, looking forward to that one in there. Jeremiah there.
What's up?
How are you feeling for this one? It's a catch weight. Is that going to help you? Is it going to help James?
Shit, it don't matter, man. Any weight, 45, 40, 35, I don't give a fuck. I'm ready to fight. It's fight week, baby. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
How's it going to go down?
He ain't getting more than 2 rounds. Don't matter. Choke out,
He's
knock
going
out.
done.
Whatever. He's scared. Everyone knows he's scared.
Well, James, we know you're a 22-year-old shy, retiring type there. Waiting for you to come out of your shell a little bit, I think. It was nice to see the personality a bit more. But this is a part of the plan to get world champion, big fight. What's it going to be for this? How important is this on the road to stardom for you?
Yeah, I feel this one's going to play a big factor in that. I feel like I'm going to come out here and put on a clinic. I feel like you're going to see a lot of things that you have never seen before, and tune in Saturday night. So that's all I've got to say. I'm going to leave it in there.
Jeremiah's been saying all you've got's ground game on.
Yeah, he can say what he wants.
Gorillas can't swim, baby.
He can say what he wants. It does not matter. I'm going to step in there. I've prepared. So it is, and I'm ready
take you
to
to
go.
deep waters.
He's
Drown your
he's
ass.
not going to put a patch on me, and he knows that himself. And he knows that when it goes to the ground, he's not on my level. He's not my level on the feet. He's not my level anywhere.
Not your level on
And on
your
Saturday
feet.
night, we're going to see that.
Play the video.
We're going to see it. So it is, and yeah.
Play the video.
Yeah.
Video man, play the video.
Yeah. What you going to watch me get clipped after
Play
beating
the
someone for
video.
2.5 minutes of one round? Yeah, we'll see. You'll see. Not the hat hold you down and beat fuck out of you for fucking 15 minutes.
Well, we look forward to that. You know, wherever it
You're not
goes.
going to touch me.
I'll, and Eric, welcome to England. And how is it for this fight? You're fighting a fairly angry Paul, who just come off a close loss. What's your thoughts about fighting in his hometown?
Andrew?
This is Michael.
Eric, ele falou como você está se sentindo enfrentando o Paul dele. Você viu que ele estava um pouco perturbado antes na encarada. Como você está sentindo?
Isso é normal. Eu creio que na luta as pessoas eles demonstram a ansiedade e o nervosismo justamente nessas horas. Eu estou muito tranquilo em relação a essa luta.
He says, I'm very relaxed, and moments like that is where you see the kind of pressure and the anxiety that my opponent's in when he reacts like that when you face off.
And he says it with a smile. Paul, obviously, close loss in that last fight was to her.
I'm not angry.
No, you're looking happy today. You're looking relaxed.
Do you know what? Eric can say what he wants. That day was a bit of a performance for the cameras. On the Saturday night, Eric's going to be in the cage with me, and I'm going to knock him out. You hear me say it again and again. 9 times out of 10, I do it. So Eric's going to find out on Saturday night what I'm all about.
How do you think the styles work out for you?
Styles work out great for me. I know he thinks I'm going into this with the idea that he's going to stand up and trade with me. We all know for a fact that he isn't going to do that. He has got a good ground game. He's a legit jiu-jitsu black belt, and he's going to be shooting from the time that bell goes, and I'm going to be ready.
Okay, I'd like to take it to the crowd now. Any questions for the guys? It's dark out.
We'll say that the crowd when I walked out there, the whole arena, there was how many people was that? 9,500 people or something. It was sold out at 9,500 people. People were like begging for tickets, and there was none left. Do you know what I mean? And just when I stepped out into that arena, I had anyone from Ireland that could go was there, and I had the whole place on their feet, and just that my hard work is paying off, and these people are coming out to support me. It means absolutely everything, and this is why I do it. Do you know what I mean? I'm here to secure my future and put on a show for the people that come and watch me, and I'm just one of these people. I'm just an Irish guy. I was out to school, came up, fell in love with something, and ran with it. Do you know what I mean? And that's just where I come from. I'm just one of the boys. Do you know what I mean? And to really walk out there and at the point, the Tree Arena in Dublin, and bring the place to a standstill. That means the world to me. It's probably one of the best moments of my life, but it's going to be topped on Saturday when I kid this guy.
Thank you. And then lastly for Fabian, this is obviously the 3rd European series that you'll be on, obviously Newcastle, Birmingham and now London. You also signed a new deal with Bellator as well. Can you just talk a little bit about your goals or your aspirations for your career with Bellator?
The goal is that gold belt. You know, I come in here, I'm looking at the champion, I'm looking at the main event, and I'm thinking that's what I'm trying to go for. So the goal is to clean up the division, and I work my way toward that gold title.
Scott, can you give us your overview, as it were, of how the UFC or how the Bellator series has actually gone so far? Because what I'm hearing is that it's been a success, but we're not really hearing like a game plan like moving forward in terms of forthcoming cards. Yes, you've outlined September, but how about moving forward throughout the rest of the year and into next year?
Yeah, I mean, this year we're scheduled to do 6 fights. Next year we're going to do 10 to 12. You guys already know we promote in different cities throughout Europe, which in 2020, I think we're going to include them in the European series. So it'll be a much wider series with much broader TV distribution throughout Europe. And when you say the goals, really the goal is this: is like you're looking at it right here. You know, we have great penetration, great reach, and we have great fighters. When I look at just at this table here, look at the talent, and I look at in the audience. I mean, there's so many for years and years and years that I've been promoting. There's so much talent in the UK, so much talent throughout Europe, and the decision to break it down and go into the community, localize events, is really good for the up and coming talent, because they'll get there much quicker and they'll have more opportunity to fight guys that are maybe ranked and get there sooner. So to me, this is already in effect and working. It's just how fast we want to get there. I mean, we're plugging along quite well, I feel.
Okay. And to James. James, I must say, it looks like online the criticism of you is almost a fever pitch, but you're still pretty vocal online. How are you actually processing all of that? How are you actually dealing with that? Or does that act as a motivator for you?
Neither. I just don't care. So it is, why would I care about irrelevant people on an app? That's absolutely mind-blowing why anyone would get get caught up in something like that. But what I'm doing is working. So you can see that. And the numbers that they're all bringing in, the hype that I'm getting, the people that are tuning in, it's all working. So thanks to them for doing that. And my plan is working out. So it is, and I'm happy that all the eyes, there's going to be over 1 million views on me on Saturday night. Do you know what I mean? And there's a reason for that. And that's because I'm good at what I do.
Hi, this is one for Scott and maybe David. During the week, what many regard as probably the best featherweight in these islands that isn't in Bellator was seen by a head of another promotion who dismissed him because he went for a very legitimate MMA move. Are you going to be talking to Brendan Loughnane?
You know what? I didn't see what happened. Somebody had told me about it, but we were so busy with this fight card. I'll go back and check it out. But listen, if it's somebody that David wants to sign, then we'll support him. But I'm just really not on top of the situation that well.
Thank you. Question for Scott and David. In the past, there's been growth on these shores with big organisations coming in and kind of developing talent, if you like. But there's been a tendency when anyone's been really successful, they've been just taken over to America, really. So, to what extent and how patient are you in building here and then continuing to have maybe 3 or 4 tent poles around the kind of regular series as well as you go on, because that seems to be the way to build an audience here and burn them out on the other side of the Atlantic. I mean, are you aware of that, and do you think about that?
I mean, I think that, again, the localization of the shows that we are committed to the UK, we are committed to Ireland, we are committed to Italy, we're committed to different parts of Europe that we are going to localize the product and bring the best local talent. Now, I will say this, some of these fighters will fight in America. That's just how it is. But then some of our big fighters will fight here. And some of the big fighters will be...
E essa é a ideia. Eu estou pronto para as duas áreas. Não tem problema. Se ele acha que eu vou para o chão, bom. Se ele acha que eu não vou querer trocar com ele, melhor ainda. Eu estou preparado para as duas áreas. Eu não treino só a metade, eu treino tudo.
I'm prepared to fight, take the fight anywhere. If he wants to stand, then we'll see. If it goes to the ground, I'm prepared to.
Thank you. And finally, James, as we know, this is going to be the Jimmy show on Saturday night, as you stated already. And how important is it for you? I mean, just being in America with like a Tyson Fury trying to take over America and becoming a big figure over there, how important is it for you to become very well known in America as well?
100%, it's got to be everywhere. Do you know what I mean? You can't just be picking one spot. You know what I mean? If that was the case, I would just stay in Dublin and headline every show and sell out every time. Do you know what I mean? But that's not my goal. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a big fish in a small pond. I'm going to be a shark in a big man in the sea. That's what I want to be, and I want to climb all the way up. I want to fight everywhere. I want to travel the world, fight in all the top arenas. I already fought in MSG 2 years ago, and yeah, it was a dream come true to step in there. Do you know what I mean? Like all the greats have fought in there, and for me to be able to do that was such an honor and a privilege to be able to have that opportunity. And yeah, I want to climb. I want to fight everywhere. It doesn't matter to me. I'll go anywhere and fight, and I'll put on a show everywhere I go, and I'll bring a crowd with me.
Question for Jeremiah. Right here.
Finally.
You've been scheduled to fight James twice already. And so, given that you've had that time to prepare for him, and obviously you're very skilled on the ground, there's been quite a lot of talk between you two that would suggest that it's probably going to be a bit of a slugfest. Like, do you think you have a game plan worked out, or are you just waiting to see where the fight
He knows better than that. He's gonna try to take me down. I'm gonna stuff his takedowns. He's gonna get tired. I'm just gonna fucking knock his ass out.
And James, anything to come back with, or just?
Yeah, we'll see. What? Shut your fucking voice up.
Of course, he's gonna headline all the cards in Dublin. Who else they got there?
You'll never headline a card in your life, so you sit there and shut your fucking mind. How about that? You're lucky you're here, and it's because of me that you're here. It's because I choose you to come and fight, and now you got your chance, or else you would have been back home, not even signed to Bellator, doing fuck all. So sit there, shut your fucking mouth, shut up and fight, and let's do.
I'm surprised you showed up. Finally, it took you long enough.
Shut it twice. Mid, you sit there and shut your fucking mouth. You're a coach. You're a coach. Let your fighter do his thing. You sit and shut your fucking mouth. It's not your job. You coach him. You train him. You come and fight.
I don't even know those guys.
You sit there and shut your fucking mouth.
I don't even know those guys.
Fuck me, shut your fucking mouth. I've seen you walk around the hotel with them all week. It's your coach.
You're watching me.
It's your coach. It's embarrassing how unprofessional that your coach is sitting there trying to act like a little fool in the crowd.
My coach ain't even here.
Mate, he's sitting fucking there in front of me.
Oh, my coach.
These people are brain dead, aren't they?
I mean, you'd be on my Instagram all day. You should know who my coach is.
Yeah, man, I'm better than you do.
One quick one for Paul as well. Paul, same place. Having fought Rory and Douglas, who do you think was a tougher matchup, like when you fought them, and who do you reckon takes the rematch?
Rory was a tougher matchup. I've said that in a lot of interviews. You know, I think he's a special talent despite his mental state recently. You know, I've never really been in a fight where I felt like I couldn't win or turn it around. But you know, I said leading up to the fight, I wasn't mentally where I should have been, and maybe it was it was Rory that had me feeling that way. You know, I'm quite like I say, I fight anybody, but I was a little bit. I admit a little bit intimidated when I was fighting Rory, so I probably didn't perform to my best. Douglas Lima, on the other hand, he's a big guy at welterweight, extremely tough. He seems to be getting better, and yeah, I'd like to fight Douglas Lima again. But the current Douglas Lima, I think, beats Rory in a rematch, and I think he probably stops him.
Any further questions for these guys? If not, we shall wrap them up and let them square off in the front before we move on to our next panel. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
So the last time his fist gonna touch my face.
That's enough, guys. Let's go. Goodbye.